us to think about some of the books that we've been reading, to really think about some of the characters that we've been learning about. You know how last week when we read the book, the Paper Bag Princess? Remember we learned about Ronald, we learned about Elizabeth, and how Elizabeth was so happy and in love with Ronald at the beginning, and then how she wasn't so happy and in love with him at the end, remember? Remember how we've been reading about Trixie, a Nuffle Bunny, and how she felt when she lost her bunny at the laundromat, and she was really sad, and how she changed, and how those incidents and those events made her feel. We read all the David Shannon books about David. We love David, right? So we've been doing a lot of really good character work, and today I want us to continue our work about characters. And today, I want you to think about the book that we read yesterday called The Invisible Boy. Do you remember the book we read yesterday called The Invisible Boy? Well, today, readers, I want you to think about that story because I'm going to teach you a reading strategy today that readers use called What's in the Bubble, okay? So I'm going to repeat myself. Readers, today I'm going to teach you a reading strategy that readers use called What's in the Bubble. When readers use the strategy called What's in the Bubble, first they think to themselves, first they are reading along and then they pause and think, what would my character be thinking or saying right here? Or what might my character be feeling right now? And even when the text doesn't tell us what the character is thinking or feeling, we have to stop and we have to imagine and we have to notice what's happening in the story and think to ourselves, what might my character be thinking or feeling? So I'm going to demonstrate it for you, and I want you to watch me do it, okay? And I'm going to turn to the spot in the book where they are out on I'm going to first start with the spot in the book where Mrs. Carlotti is talking about how the other kids take up so much space and Brian's feeling really invisible. Remember that part? Okay. So all the teacher can do is focus all her attention on the kids that are so loud. And Brian is over here feeling like he doesn't take up as much space at all. And so he's feeling very invisible, and I even notice that the illustrator even makes him gray. Like he doesn't even have any color. He's feeling that invisible. So I'm going to pause, and I'm going to think, and then I'm going to take my sticky note, and I'm going to put my sticky note above the character's head, and I'm going to write what I think the character is thinking, or what the character would be saying if the character could talk right here. So when I did that, I thought to myself, maybe he's saying, maybe if they weren't so loud, people might notice me. You think he might be saying something like that? Absolutely. Let me find another spot for you and do that. Again, remember the part where they were out on the playground picking kickball teams? Remember that part? So I'm thinking right here, he's got a smile on his face. So I'm going to pause, and I'm going to think, and I'm going to draw my sticky note above his head, and I'm going to say to myself, you know what? He might be saying to himself right here, since I'm standing all by myself, I might get picked now, and that would be really awesome. Did you see how I did that? Readers, did you see how I paused? And I thought to myself, and I made a sticky, and then I thought to myself, what is my character thinking? What would my character be saying right here? And I wrote it down on my sticky. Do you think you could do that? All right, I'm going to give you a shot with your partner right now. We're going to do a little bit of practice here on the rug before I send you back to your spots to do your independent reading. But I want you to think about the time when they're in the cafeteria. Remember Brian's least favorite time of day? They're in the cafeteria and they're all talking about the pool party and how cool the pool party was. Right here, I want you to turn and tell your partner right now, how do you think Brian is feeling, or what would Brian be saying right now at the cafeteria during the pool party conversation? Turn and talk, go.
Yeah, probably feeling kind of left out and afraid he's going to be the only one that doesn't get invited.
All right, bring it back together. All right, really nice work, readers. Here's what I heard you say. I heard you say that since Brian didn't get invited to the pool party, he's feeling really left out, like he doesn't have anything to contribute to the party, and that's making him feel really sad and like not part of the group. And it really would have been nice to be invited to the pool party because he's a really good swimmer. By the way, even if you did not hear one kid say that, you still say that. All right, let's try it again. Let's go to the spot in the book where they're working on the project together. So Miss Carlotti assigns them a group project, and Emilio and Justin and Brian are all working together to create their class project. How do you think Brian is feeling right now, or what would Brian be saying now? Turn and talk, go.
When they were working on their class project together. Probably thinking how awesome it feels to be they actually noticed it invited and left out the first time.
All right, bring it back to the front. All right, so I was walking around, I was listening to some of your conversations, and I heard you say that he was feeling so happy and he was so full of joy because he was actually part of a group and felt included. Some of you noticed that he was actually in full color, not gray anymore, and that probably the illustrator really wanted us to know that when he's in color, he's feeling valued and he's feeling a part of that class and feeling good on the inside and the outside, and really contributing because we both know he's a really good drawer, right? So he was really able to add that strength to the group. So, did you see how that goes now? Okay, so here's what I want you to do. When you go off to your reading spots today to do your independent reading, you're going to be either trying this strategy called What's in the Bubble, or you're going to be trying a strategy that we've been working on this week or last week, because that's one of the things that good readers do. Good readers don't just stay in one strategy lane. They try to incorporate all the strategies at the same time. Kind of like a swimmer. When a swimmer's swimming, they try to do all the things at the same time. But before you leave the rug, well, first of all, do you think you can do that? Do you think you can go off and practice the strategy today? And then Juan and I are going to walk around, and we're going to have a couple of reading conferences with a couple of you. Okay? And then we're not going to get to everybody, of course. But when that's all over, when the sort of like simulation is over, then we're going to debrief about the read aloud, the mini lesson, and the reading conferences. And we're going to mic up a couple of you and reenact the reading conference so you can all hear how it goes. Okay? Before you go off to your reading spots, because I know you're all going to do really well with this strategy today since you've been doing such good character work, but before you go off to your reading spot today, I want you to repeat the steps of this strategy to your partner. I'm going to go over them one more time. You pause, you think, you draw a sticky note, and you write in the sticky note, what is my character thinking or how is my character feeling? Turn and tell your partner what your strategy is today, what your strategy work is today.
What is my character feeling now?
Awesome, good job. Okay, so at this point I would say off you go. You're gonna go grab your independent reading boxes, bags, books, whatever, and go do that. So if you're timing me, you can hit end, because this is about the end of